Super Mario, Resident Evil, Pokemon. Some of the biggest game franchises ever. All made in Japan. But what do they have in common? If you played them, you'll notice they don't really feel Japanese. No samurai, no yakuza, no hot springs, nothing that screams traditional Japanese culture. Mario is an Italian plumber, and Resident Evil games takes place in a city called Raccoon City. Because these games weren't made to represent a culture, they were made to be just games. Pure, addictive, fun video games. These games only had one goal: entertain the players through fun gameplay. No flashy graphics to flex, no major tech breakthroughs, just make something people enjoy playing. And that is exactly what is missing in the Indian game industry right now. People keep saying the Indian game industry is growing, but is it actually growing the right way? We keep seeing these flashy AAA game announcements, big names, big hype, and then disappointment. It keeps happening. They release these polished CGI trailers with cinematic cutscenes. Everything looks insane. But the game, it's not even in the planning stage yet. A lot of people point to games like Black Myth Wukong as an example. Look, a Chinese studio made a massive AAA game out of nowhere. Really? Did it really came out of nowhere? The devs behind it had years of experience. They worked on small games, built their skills, failed a few times and learned a lot. And then, when the time was right, they planned it properly, managed it well and created something brilliant. Because at the end of the day, good planning and leadership is what makes any project work. Our industry's biggest issue, we skip the process, we just want to jump straight to the top.
Why isn't it possible? It's just not. Why not, you stupid bastard?
We don't ask how others got there. They started small, they built things over time, but we just want to leap straight to the finish line. That's not how anything works. Not in any career field. If you're starting a studio and your first project is a AAA game, then I'm sorry to say this, but that's probably the dumbest move you could make. Because here's the reality. India seriously lacks skilled game developers. And the ones who are actually skilled, most of them work for the foreign studios. Because why wouldn't they? They get paid more, they're treated way better, and their skills are put to good use. Why would they waste all that here? And here's another harsh truth. We don't have a proper gaming market here. If you're an Indian developer and making a game, you can't focus on only the Indian audience. Because if you are, there's just bad news waiting for you. Especially since gaming is a really expensive hobby in India. So you have to look for cheap alternatives to buy games. One such place where you can buy games for cheap is Eneba. This video is sponsored by Eneba. Why pay full price when you can grab the same games at discount? Eneba offers 40,000 digital products from AAA blockbusters to indie gems, DLCs, in-game currencies and gift cards, all at a competitive price across PC, PlayStation, Xbox and Nintendo. Whether you're a console gamer or a PC gamer, Eneba has something for everyone. With the secure payment method, 24/7 live support and excellent Trustpilot score, Eneba is trusted by millions of gamers worldwide. If you're planning to buy your favorite game, check out Eneba. Click the link in the description to explore latest deals on Eneba. People here don't casually buy games like it's in the West. That culture just doesn't exist here yet. At least not on a scale to make it a proper industry. And it won't magically appear just because you made one good game. It takes time and consistency. If you really want this industry to grow, then we have to start small, build smart, and target the global audience from day one. Starting small doesn't mean thinking small. Some of the biggest global successes began as small experiment projects. Think of Undertale or Flappy Bird or Angry Birds. These games weren't built by huge studios, but they resonated with millions of people. You could be the next, but only if you focus on what really matters, and that is the gameplay. Now sure, there are AAA companies who set up their studios here, but most of the work we get, it's just support work. Developers here are usually assigned smaller tasks like animation, rigging, modeling, props. The core gameplay mechanics and systems are still handled by people abroad. Why? It's just cost cutting. The labor is cheap here, so companies can get more people to do smaller tasks for less money. It's smart business, but it just doesn't build a strong game development ecosystem here. What we do have is a great talent in animation, VFX and CGI. You can see that in our films. And not just Bollywood, a lot of Hollywood movies get their VFX done in Indian studios. Because we do have skilled people in those areas, but when it comes to core game development, we're way behind. And that's the part where almost every Indian games fall short. Small budget or high budget, the gameplay just doesn't deliver. We haven't made any innovation in the gameplay design. We just used already existing ideas and just replaced the assets. Skills like that doesn't appear out of nowhere. We have to start small. If you are an indie game developer, seriously, please start small. Don't aim for making the next GTA game. I know I've made videos of making a GTA game, but no, that was just an experiment using ChatGPT. I never planned on making the whole GTA game myself. Start with something simple but fun. Make it accessible and target a wider audience. You don't need crazy level graphics to succeed. Take a look at the game called Schedule 1. There's nothing really graphically impressive about it, but it absolutely crushed all the AAA title that was released this year by miles. Why? Because people had fun playing it. It was addictive, it was well designed, and it was made by just a single person. A passion project. He worked on it for 3 years with no formal game dev experience. He was just a game modder. It's the idea and the fun gameplay which he made that clicked with a large group of audience. The game made over $100 million and the developer became a multi-millionaire overnight. People are fed up with the shenanigans of big corporate companies, and now is the perfect time to get into indie game development. It just proves one thing, that people would rather play a fun, goofy looking game than a boring, beautiful one. Because at the end of the day, they're games, they're supposed to be fun. And if there's no fun playing it, then what's the point of it being a game? Pretty graphics are amazing the first time you see them, but fun gameplay is what makes people come back for more. I've played plenty of games that look so visually stunning, but honestly, I dropped them after a few hours because they had nothing beyond the visuals, no soul, no originality. Especially since now the Unreal Engine 5 games all look similar, you can't really differentiate between the art style. All of them are using the same assets. Now Schedule 1 is a pretty rare case. Suppose you made your first indie game and that's actually pretty good, gameplay wise and overall, and you're selling it for $10, which is like very cheap compared to all the games releasing now, and about 500 people bought your game. So you made about $5,000. Now that's a small amount for people on the West, but here in India, that's 4 lakh rupees. What Indian game industry really needs right now is more developers working on small creative ideas and not chasing the AAA fantasy. We need more passion projects, more experiments, and those that actually focus on the gameplay rather than pretty looking graphics. To put things to perspective, the biggest budget movies here cost around 600 to 800 crores, but a real AAA game that can cost around 4,000 to 5,000 crores. So yeah, we're not quite there yet, and I don't think we will anytime soon, and that's okay because it means there's room to grow the right way. So if you enjoyed listening to me yap about stuff, then hit the like button so that I make more videos like this. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Very much appreciated. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.